Well, hello everyone. I am Matt Williamson. Thanks for tuning in. Spread the word. Seems like we're getting quite the following here on this podcast. Loving it. I want to lead off with, I watched the AFC North Hard Knocks last night, and I thought it was quite good. I urge you to do the same if you haven't already. For me, I spent a year going to that Browns facility every day, so that was kind of cool to see it again. Really like about the only year I've lived in my life not in Pittsburgh, basically, give or take. And I go to the Steeler facility all the time, of course, at least once a week during the season and, down there quite a bit. So that was very cool. It touched, close to home, obviously, all the Pittsburgh stuff, of course, and good stuff. I was very impressed. I thought Burrow came across really, really strong. But my number one takeaway, and I'm trying not to look at this through too much black and gold colored glasses, but I thought Tomlin was incredibly impressive, which I've been around him enough to know, but I know a lot of fans can be hard on him. And hey, he's bad at using timeouts. He's bad at clock management. But I think if you watch that show, you get a better appreciation for his immense football knowledge. He has a Chuck Noll-like ability to be able to coach any position group. And maybe most importantly is how he talks to the team or players individual, how he interacts with his teammates and coaches. I thought all those things that a lot of you hear about could actually see pretty vividly. And that's not a knock on the other three coaches in the division. They're fine. And Harbaugh, to me, is a really, really good coach as well. But I thought Tomlin was kind of the star of the show when it was all said and done, and you could understand his greatness maybe a little bit better. So Pro Football Focus came out with their Pro Bowl team, basically their all-star team, whatever they called it, of 3/4 mark of the regular season. And I just wanted to look at their defensive line real quick, because it's very telling for the Steelers as well as the Browns. The two edge defenders were Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. What they said about Watt was, with just 34 total pressures so far this season, Watt ranks just tied for 34th amongst edge defenders through 13 weeks. Still, he slots 4th among all defenders with his pass rush grade, and his run defense mark is number 1 of all edge defenders. And he's not even, they don't even mention the strip sacks and the forced fumbles, that kind of stuff too, which these are just, little sentences about each. About Garrett, who's coming to town Sunday, he leads all edge defenders with his pass rush grade through 13 weeks, and his 54 total pressures are tied for 4th at the position. He also leads all edge defenders in pass rush win rate at 23.6%. Okay. Again, these aren't in-depth analysis. But more importantly to me, I don't think anyone's shocked Watt and Garrett were 1 and 2. And I think if you go to any betting site, I was told this just an hour or so ago, that Watt is the favorite in the clubhouse, the shortest odds to win Defensive Player of the Year, and Garrett is second. But the two interior defensive linemen were Chris Jones. Jones has been the best pass rusher on the defensive interior so far this season. From 436 pass rush snaps, he's accumulated 54 total pressures, a mark that leads all players at the position through 13 weeks. Doesn't surprise me at all. And the other one's Cam Hayward, which I think is extremely deserving. I really, really do, and I'm glad that he got that recognition. And this is what PFF had to say about Cam. The highest graded interior defender in the NFL through 13 weeks, Hayward has turned back the clock with an incredible season to date. He has earned a 90 PFF pass rushing grade, racking up 43 total pressures and 19 combined sacks and quarterback hits. I think he's been a top 10 defensive player easily this season, just standing on this season. And certainly one of the top 2, if not number 1, interior defensive linemen. And I very much agree. They would be my 4 picks too if I was picking a 3/4 of the way defensive line for 2024. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number 1 source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA, head to BetOnline today and get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. Okay, there's some other things I just found on the web. It's kind of a weird day because I didn't want to dig too much into Cleveland this early since the Steelers just played them 10 days ago or whatever. And not a ton has changed. But PFF also did a quarterback breakdown where they had 5 or 6 categories. Who's got the strongest arm, that kind of thing. And their most accurate passer is Russell Wilson. For the second straight week, and that was just for this past week, I apologize, Wilson laid claim to being the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. It was a monster day against the Bengals. 85.7% of Wilson's attempts were deemed accurate, with a 0% being uncatchable. Altogether, the veteran amassed 413 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 big-time throws, and 0 turnover-worthy plays. That's one of my favorite PFF stats, turnover-worthy plays for quarterbacks, en route to an 80.3 passing grade. So he was the most accurate passer this past week, and that's an award that with PFF, he's won 2 weeks in a row. So that's what you're dealing with, you know? Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up was ESPN, Matt Bowen, who was a safety in the league, he does really good work, did a crazy breakdown of best at everything. I mean, he even has best long snapper, best holder, best pass rush, all these different categories, well over 100. And the Steeler ones that he awarded, I just wanted to go over too. Best ball security as a ball carrier, Najee Harris. A volume grinder, Harris has logged 207 carries a season, the 5th most in the league. He has yet to fumble the ball as a runner. Over a 4-year career, he only has 4 fumbles and has only lost half of them. He's only lost 2 fumbles in his entire career, despite his workhorse usage. 100%. I mean, it's one of the best things about him. There's no question. The reliability of Najee Harris is really, really important. Wide receivers, best body control. Probably doesn't shock any of you that have watched George Pickens, but he gets that award. A vertical threat with red zone upside. Pickens has rare body control at the point of attack. This allows him to adjust and track the ball. Pickens has a league-high 13 receptions on throws of 20 or more air yards this season. A lot of them are contorting body control type of plays, obviously. Okay, the edge guys. Back to TJ Watt. Best hand usage, TJ Watt. Watt has 9.5 sacks a season. He is well schooled as a pass rusher when he gets on the edge of offensive tackles. He can rake down, rip through the hip, and create a flat path to the quarterback. Again, these are only 2 sentences or whatever. There's a lot more you could say about TJ Watt's hand usage, particularly as a run defender, keeping big bodies off of him. And he's got a wide variety of pass rush moves, but I have no problem with that. More love for Cam Hayward. Best pass lane swatter, Cam Hayward. Hayward's ability to create an interior push has resulted in 6 sacks and 21 pressures. But Hayward has also put himself in position to clog passing lanes, batting down 5 throws, tied for most in the league with, guess who? Teammate Keanu Benton. Maybe that surprises you. It shouldn't. This team is unbelievably good at it. And I'm looking for actually another number that backs that up even better, to be honest with you. So Cam Hayward has 8 pass defenses, which is usually a stat, well, it always is, a stat dominated by defensive backs. You get your hand on the ball and a ball coming in. But batting the ball down at the line of scrimmage also counts. He has 8 pass defenses. That leads the league amongst defensive linemen and is tied with Dante Jackson for the team lead. Keanu Benton has 6 pass defenses. He's second among defensive linemen. So I don't know how they call batted balls versus pass defenses, but if you go to NFL.com, pass defenses are the official stat, and Cam has 8, Benton has 6. Both are 1 and 2 amongst defensive linemen. Best fumble forcer, TJ Watt. Yep. Really the best I've ever seen. Watt is always looking to strip the ball. When he gets home to the quarterback, his 5 forced fumbles are the most in the league, and he has a total of 15 over his past 4 seasons, which is madness. But it's also very deserving. And I say this all the time. I mean, I think I know the Steelers have the best forced fumble defender in the entire league in Watt, and the best SWAT at the line of scrimmage player in the entire league in Cam Hayward. And I think it is directly resulting in Benton, Highsmith, especially Herbig, learning these traits, and it's spreading to their teammates. I think that's really something. One thing too that I just wanted to mention with the Browns was I didn't realize to this level, but they've won 20 straight regular season home games against the Browns. 20 straight. They have not been swept by the Browns since 1988. 32 straight seasons without being swept by a divisional opponent is the longest streak in NFL history. They've gone 32 years without beating the Steelers twice in the same season. That is unbelievable. 20 straight regular season home games streak that the Steelers are on right now against the Browns. Bonkers. All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow, break down the game, prediction, all that stuff. I got to give that some more thought. Over and out. Take care.